Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently in need of getting a few things done on a couple of worlds. So let's go ahead and do that real quick here. This refinery world, it's got a crime issue. Let's go ahead and put in precinct houses. Fantastic. This forge world needs housing, so obviously that's going to be a city district, and we are very low on our minerals. That's definitely a bit of a problem. We're going to go ahead and just build a city district here. There we go. This industrial world needs a job, and that is fine. I actually think I'm going to toss in a mining district because we're low on minerals. This forge world here, allegedly a forge world anyway, it needs housing. We're going to build a city district, and that will do the job. Fantastic. So we're working towards getting our L gates unlocked. Complete. That's great. Procyon just finished up here. We're going to build a couple more anchorages. And what else are we going to build in this in terms of buildings? Honestly, I don't think there's much that we want to build there. Okay. So we are working on these archaeological sites, obviously.
Construction complete.
And there we go. A couple more anchorages here will do the trick. That'll get us even more naval cap. Fantastic. So these fleets here, we need fleet cap if we want to make this be better.
Scientific
breakthrough hyperdrives. Nice. Okay. So next we probably want to take... Gateway travel is nice, but we want to be able to build our own gateways. Hyper shields would be better in the short term. That said, disruptors are super cheap as our plasma throwers, so we'll just grab those as kind of rerolls. Not really rerolls, but a little bit of rerolls. And we will go ahead and upgrade our ships to utilize Hyperdrive 3s. There we go, the Megacampaign class and the Ryazang class. There we go, the Ashoka class. And the Kaga class. Wonderful. Now we'll get those upgraded. That won't take very long, of course. There we go. We are full on influence, but that's okay for right now. We are wasting it, but what are we going to spend it on other than claims? But we're going Federation, so
our ships have been
that's going to be a
superior.
thing. Excellent. So we are about 16 months away from impulse thrusters, and we're working on society research from researchers as well. That's all well and good.
Our ships have been made superior.
Excellent. So this vortex over here is, of course, constructing Farpoint-class defense platforms as well, and we're currently at about 12k for strength there. That's not high enough, to be clear. Not high enough at all. We're going to want to have this guy ready to move into the L gate when we have that cleared, but we're not quite there yet. And our first fleet is not really, or rather our fleets in general, are not really strong enough to open the L gate just yet, but we're getting incredibly close on that front. Oh, we're on normal speed. That's a bit of an issue. We're going to move it up to fast. No wonder it felt like nothing was happening. It's because it wasn't. These guys are building gateways. Okay. Well, they're a bit ahead of us, but that's not shocking. That is completely to be expected. Anything to do up here? Yes, actually, this tech world requires a city district, and so we shall construct one. Wonderful. So that is completely fine. Our archaeologists, working on Polymar 1, have reached a highly unstable section of the ruins. Several archaeologists were recently killed when a ceiling collapsed on them. Li Wang emerged unscathed from the debris. There's not a voiced S in debris. But work on the site has been momentarily halted. This will cause delays. Okay. That will indeed cause delays. We have a 0% breakthrough chance right now. Yikes. Okay. Completely fine. Completely and totally fine. Procyon requires a job. This is mixed between mining districts and agriculture districts, so we will build an agriculture district for right now.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
There's our society research boost.
Construction
Habitability boost. That's solid. That's really solid. Fantastic. Really, really good there.
Construction complete.
And we're, of course, done in Procyon and Alpha Centauri for now. I don't think there's any reason to upgrade these to a Citadel, and I don't think there's any other buildings that we want to have in this, ultimately. The Naval Logistics offices are good enough. The resource silos are fine. They don't really cost us anything, and they increase our storage capacities, but other than that, they're not fantastic. I'd build more of those silos if we could, but alas, that is not an option. We're currently floating a little low on consumer goods. Of course, we're currently selling 100 of those. So that's definitely something to note. We could back off on these
Scientific
down to,
breakthrough
not
achieved.
that, but down to, say, 90 for right now. That'll be fine. Disruptors have finished. Cool. What next? Planetary shield generators, ion disruptors? Probably ion disruptors. Now, disruptors are pretty good because they have full-on penetration. They're particularly good, if you notice, they're fairly short range. They're particularly good in things like corvettes. Citadels. That would be solid. Engineering research from researchers is very necessary. Like, we're still behind in our engineering research. So let's go ahead and take that. Citadels would be great, but unfortunately, I don't feel like we're in a position to do that at this exact moment. Let's go ahead and get our ships upgraded to use... Okay, actually, first, I want to check here. So, we could potentially replace these guys here with disruptors for our corvettes. Now, these would be small disruptors. They do 1.55 per day right now, which is a lot less. So, I think until we get our disruptors skilled up a bit, it's not really worthwhile. We're just going to hop over to impulse thrusters for right now. There we go. On all of these. Perfect. That's actually a pretty good boost in terms of survivability and maneuverability. So we're going to get all of those upgraded. Wonderful, and we should see these numbers increasing a decent chunk. We can also go ahead and run the surveyor, and so we shall. We're 6. Got 9 trade value. That's really good for us. And yeah, we're definitely seeing these numbers coming up.
We have established a new planetary base. Our
Excellent.
ships have
We have
been made
Umzara back.
superior.
And here's the question. These things are still good here. Insufficient plots on this planet, but that's okay. Yeah, this seems fine for now. That is completely okay.
Our ships have been made superior.
So 17.4k and 16.7k. That's nice. Yeah, we do want to extend that deal still. We're going to just sell off a bunch of energy credits, or rather a bunch of consumer goods to make that happen. Not energy credits. Selling energy credits, that's kind of ridiculous as a concept. But we do need a job on this Forge world. We've got good housing. We can upgrade to a planetary capital. That will solve the issue, but I'm also going to put in an industrial district. We need housing on this world, and we are definitely going to need to sell off a little bit of food here. And we'll buy in a little bit of minerals. We're low on energy credits right now, but we have to put in a city district here, which will actually give us clerk jobs, which produces trade value. So that should be nice. Let's check in on our trade quick. Looks like we're not having any major piracy issues. That's good to see. Excellent. We do need a job on this Forge world, and we have a lot of crime still. And that's even with an anti-crime campaign here. That's a lot, for sure. We're going to put in an industrial district here. It's not going to solve the crime, but it'll have to do. For now, anyway. That crime will be a bit of a long-term thing that we're going to solve. Okay, so we're working on ion disruptors. That'll be done in 18 months. Will these be strong enough? Well, you have to remember, this is penetrating both shield and armor, so their average damage will be reduced pretty dramatically. Just to try to balance that. So that's definitely something to keep in mind here. I do think that once we get to ion disruptors, we should probably switch them. In fact, we could do it now, and we need to think about whether we want destroyers to also run disruptors. So they currently close to 30 range. Disruptors small have a range of 30. So I think that our destroyers and corvettes should both run them. Yeah, I think that's what we should do. And then our cruisers and our battleships, of course, stay back a lot further. So they're not going to run the... They stay back at 50 and 80 range, respectively. So that'll be fine. They're not going to run the disruptors, but it'll be just fine on that front. So we're going to have that here in 13 months. Let's actually go ahead and switch these over. We're still going to run the Guardian Point Defense, don't get me wrong. But we're going to swap these over to Disruptors. Like so. There we go. And this may cause a... Let's see here. This is our cruisers. Our destroyers here. I think we're going to still run advanced railguns here, perhaps? Actually, no. I think we're going to run full-on Disruptors here as well. Now, this may cause a little bit of reduction in our power here. Let's see. Yeah, that's causing reduction in our power. I'm not surprised by that. And that's a fake reduction. Because this bypasses shields and armor. And just attacks the hull.
Our ships have been made superior.
Which is kind of ridiculous, I might add. But yeah, it appears to be a large reduction in military power. But it's not actually. Especially once we get ion disruptors in. Now, I believe there's a third rank of disruptors as well, and we do want to prioritize getting that as soon as we can. We're still 7 months away from level 2 disruptors, but that's okay. Defensive packs are okay. We don't mind that. That is completely fine. We do want to get the L Gate as soon as possible, and this fortress over here, it is maxed out for right now, with 12 out of 12. It means that it's only about 13.4k, but that's fine. We're currently stocking up alloys, and that's also a great thing. 4 months currently on our ion disruptors. I'm going to bump up to fastest speed here while we wait on those. Just because it's going to be a little bit yet. This Forge World here does require a job, and so we will put in... This is a worker job that it requires. So we'll put in a mining district. Okay, that'll do. The excavation has hit delays as the dig site becomes increasingly toxic the deeper we go. Parts of the shaft are dangerously irradiated, probably by the catastrophic event that dug out the crater in the first place. The need for protective countermeasures and decontamination apparatus is slowing progress on the work. Okay, well, that's not going well. There's ion disruptors, and there's a lot of good stuff here. Gamma lasers are amazing, and we're going to take those. Okay, we're going to hop in here and upgrade these guys up to ion disruptors. That'll be a solid upgrade for them. And we're going to do the same to these lads. Perfect. Get those upgraded. So that should increase us back to roughly the same level. Approximately. It'll probably still be a little bit lower on paper. But that amount of defense penetration is just ridiculous.
Our ships have been made
Yeah,
superior.
16.1k. A little lower on paper, but that's as expected. Excellent. So we'll get the rest of these upgraded fairly
Our
quickly here.
ships have been made
There we go.
superior.
And we're at the point where we can start to think about opening the vortex. But I think we're not quite there yet. Especially since our science ships are all busy right now. Or both of our science ships are busy right now. I was expecting this archaeology site to finish up soon. But this is not going tremendously well. Not going tremendously well at all. We could make another science ship. And honestly, that might not be the worst idea right now. Let's go ahead and make a science ship. That should be fine. Now, we're not going to immediately go out here and do this. Ooh, +9 physics research on Saturn. We're going to come over and grab that as soon as we can. And then we're going to head back to Jasques-Fomat. Fantastic. So, we're about to get that sweet, sweet 5% habitability. That's always great to see.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
So now we can see we are at like 90% habitability on most continental worlds. That's wonderful. Fleet command limit +20. That's enormous for us right now. Do it. That's only 19 months out, so that's acceptable. We're going to assign a leader over here. We don't really care what they're doing. And we're going to head up to Jasques-Fomat. We are on fastest speed again. I did take it off after we got the last technology, but I put it back on because I want to get that sweet, sweet fleet command limit increase. That's going to be very useful for us. We're going to put that into a second battleship into each fleet. And then the rest will probably go into destroyers and cruisers. We want to get up to 5 battleships per fleet for right now, but there's only so far that we can go with that. Keep in mind, that's 8 fleet command limit per battleship. It's kind of a lot. Kind of a lot. Upon finally touching down at the bottom of the crater, a mind-boggling discovery was made. Giant twisted shards of some hardened calcified organic material were found among the rubble. Thousands of them. Some were a few meters across, some the size of an orbital shuttle. As astonishing as it sounds, it now seems clear that the shards are remnants of some enormous hatched egg. Based on the size and number of shell fragments, the egg must have been hundreds of meters across. Deep in the bedrock of Polymar 1, some tremendous creature hatched, and then proceeded to dig its way up to the surface, trailing deadly radiation in its wake. If it could do this as a newborn. Whatever it was, it's gone now, leaving no trace behind but pieces of eggshell and a yawning hole in the earth. Xenology plus 50% research. Okay. So we're going to send this fleet over to Uton, where we will excavate the frozen complex there. Scanners detect a hidden complex buried beneath the ice and snow of Uton 5A. A large network of partially collapsed or blocked tunnels seems to connect the various underground structures. So we will look into that, and of course we've got this one down over here to do as well. So that'll be fine. And how long on that technology? 2 months. Sounds good. Make that 1 month. Wonderful. And we'll take it back down to faster speed now, or just fast, I guess. Here in Stellaris. Let's go for... These are all kind of mediocre. I guess diplomatic weight will be good for us. In fact, that will be quite good for us. So let's go ahead and toss in an extra battleship here. And then we're going to bring up, I think, our number of destroyers up to 17. There we go. We're going to do the same with the first fleet here. Perfect. Custodian Protocol 712-6 activated. Initiating data store transfer to primitive organic civilization. Message follows. Error. Data block corrupted. Aider. Error. Data block corrupted. Error. Data block corrupted. We graciously accept. They just gained us the planetary shields technology.
Achieved.
Okay. Sounds good. So this refinery world here requires housing. Easy enough. This tech world requires a specialist job, or rather a ruler job, but also housing. We can't really do anything about that ruler job right now. So that'll be fine. Let's go ahead and get these fleets reinforced on up. There we go. And that's a fair number of destroyers and also battleships. I do want to get the battleships constructing immediately. There we go. So we'll get those constructing immediately and we'll delay the destroyers a little bit. It doesn't really matter, but that'll be important. Well, not important, really. That'll just be something that I wanted to do, I guess. So we could send this science ship down over here, but I think we're going to send it into the Rebellion Vortex. And we are so close now. So very close. The freezing climate of Uton 5A has covered the site in thick layers of ice and snow. The desolate location of this site may be a hint of the need for discretion. Whatever took place here, someone wanted to keep it hidden. Well, we'll definitely look into that. And we're just waiting on these additional ship constructions at this point. We can activate the Surveyor, and so we shall. Plus 5 rare crystals to Sirius 5. That is really good, and we already have it gathered. So yeah, we're very happy with that. Very, very happy indeed. That is, in fact, amazing. Let's check in on our worlds here quick. This one requires a job and housing. A city district will solve both of those. And Sirius Prime requires a job. We have a decent chunk of housing right now. So we could build a planetary structure here. And what would we want in this location? Honestly, I'm not sure we want any of these. I think we just want another industrial district. Okay, that'll do. And we'll queue up a tile blocker clear, I guess. We don't really need to, but it'll be fine. So how are we doing on the construction of those battleships? About 250 days left on them. Sounds good. They'll be done soon enough. And we're going to have gamma lasers in 13 months. I don't think we need to wait on gamma lasers, though. Future ships can have gamma lasers, or we can refit later, but I think we're going to go ahead and unleash the L-Gate on the galaxy once we're finished constructing these battleships. Here in only 6 months. So yeah, that'll be fine. We're going to get additional diplomatic weight next month. It's okay. We don't mind that. And these battleships will be done very, very shortly. Wait, did we not get that? Oh, we didn't. Oh my. We're very close, but we didn't quite get it. Sad.
Scientific
There it is.
breakthrough achieved.
Fantastic. Additional fleet command limit is huge. We're going to take it. Wonderful. And we can grab ourselves a tradition. We'll, of course, grab Bulwark of Harmony. Ship fire rate increased by 15% for ships within our borders. That does give us an Ascension perk. We've decided we're not going to become the Crisis. So with that in mind, what do we want to grab here? Defender of the Galaxy? I mean, that's damage to endgame Crisis factions, but almost more importantly, that's everyone's opinion of us increased. Starbase cap we don't really care about right now. Galactic Contender. That's diplomatic weight, actually. Let's take that for the diplomatic weight. The damage to Fallen, Awakened, and Gate Builders, that'll be helpful. But let's go ahead and take that. Let's also go ahead and do the Master's Teachings Philosophical Mindset again. Wonderful. And this battleship will be done very shortly here. 98, 99, 100. Excellent. These guys are going to head out to the Rebellion Vortex. Oh, we're only 4 months away from Gamma Laser. We're only 4 months away. Go on and enter orbit again. And we're also going to be pretty bad in terms of our energy credits when we exit here. So that's definitely something to think about. Let's go ahead and, at this time, switch our policy from, or rather, our trade policy from consumer benefits back to wealth creation. And then let's remove that. Let's see what that does overall. Okay. That puts us pretty negative on the consumer goods front. But we can do something like this. Okay. In theory, that should be fine. The complex consists of several larger underground structures connected with a network of tunnels, many of which are collapsed or blocked by ice. Although ancient, some of the tunnels show clear signs of fire. The damage caused by the fire is major enough to suggest a catastrophic event, or perhaps intentional destruction.
Achieved.
One thing is sure, and that is that the purpose of this site seems to be scientific in nature. Okay, there's a council election imminent. Are we a top candidate? No, we don't really care. That's fine. We want to grab phase disruptors. That's going to be 50 months. We are not waiting on that. I can tell you that for sure. So we're going to grab our gamma lasers here. There we go. And we will also grab gamma lasers over here. We'll save those. And we will upgrade our ships. Now, this is not very many ships that need to be upgraded, so this shouldn't take very long at all. Excellent. And we'll see this military power going up pretty dramatically, I think. Maybe not. Yeah, that's not that dramatic, actually. When these battleships upgrade, that'll be the dramatic increase, I think.
Our ships have been made superior.
Ish. That didn't really upgrade all that much in terms of power. I'm a little surprised, but it will actually do quite a lot more damage. The power number is actually kind of irrelevant, as long as you're outfitted correctly.
Our ships have been made superior.
Okay, off we go, like so. We will arrive there in 6 months. How long will it take to research this? 6 months. Okay. So, let's get it started. We're going to grab this science ship here and research project. And with that, hate to say it, but it is time to put a cut in here. So we'll have to deal with the L-Gate next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.